We've now reached the last step to troubleshooting STP problems. After identifying the root switch and the root port, you need to determine the designated port on each LAN segment. Only one switch on each LAN segment is identified as the designated port on that segment. In case LAN segments connect a switch to a device that does not use STP, such as a PC or router, the switch port is the designated port. On the other hand, when LAN segments connect multiple switches, you need to determine the designated port. To do this, you need to perform two steps to determine the designated port in case of LAN segments connecting multiple switches. In the first step, when switches are connected to the same LAN segment, the switch with the lowest cost to reach the root is the designated port. If the costs are the same, the second step is to determine the switch with the lowest BID. The switch with the lowest BID will be the designated port. Please note that step 2 is only going to be required when the costs are equal in step 1. Let's look at an example to understand this concept a little better. In this switch network, RPs and DPs are marked for each segment along with the switch's least cost to reach the root using the respective RP. Look at the segments that connect non-root switches. In the S2, S4 segment, S4 has the lowest cost and becomes the designated port. Similarly, in the S2, S3 segment, S3 is the designated port. In the S3, S4 segments, both have the same cost. So look for the lowest BID in these segments. In this case, S3 has the lowest BID and becomes the designated port. Note that S1 becomes the designated port on all its segments. This is because the root switch always sends hellos with the cost of setting 0.